Lineups are very important to Valorant. They can win you rounds that you shouldn't win, get you easy information about where the enemy is, and they're everywhere to find online, pretty much for every single plant spot in the game. But there's a lot of things about lineups that a lot of people that play Valorant don't know. And as someone that has a folder for every single lineup for every single map that I have, I've learned a lot just being in a custom game and working on lineups for each one of these maps. So here are some very important tips and things to know about lineups in Valorant. One thing about lineups that a lot of people probably know by now, just being on TikTok or YouTube, is that Killjoy and KO's mollies have the same trajectory, meaning any lineup that you can do with KO's molly, you can do with KJ's. But those aren't the only mollies that share the same trajectory. Did you know that Sage's slow has the same trajectory as Viper's molly? I didn't know this either, but when I was in a custom game just practicing seeing which lineups have the same trajectory, I found out that Sage's slows and Viper's mollies are the exact same thing. They go the exact same place. But going back to KO's molly doesn't only have the same trajectory as KJ's molly, it also has the same trajectory as Viper's orb. Brimstone's molly also shares the same trajectory as Sage's slows and Viper's mollies, but it does this massive bounce, meaning they don't land in the same place. Now obviously, as you know, mollies are not the only thing that have lineups. For example, the most famous one is Sova and his darts. But did you know that Sova's dart with 2 bars is the exact same trajectory as KO's knife? Fade's eye and her sticky grabby thing, I don't even know what it's called, has the exact same trajectory as Phoenix's molly. So that's if you look at a 45-degree angle in the air and you throw it, it'll land at the sound thing where it shows where you're walking on the map. Now that's all the matching trajectories that I could find in the game. There's probably more, so leave a comment if there are any more. Now something not a lot of people know about Viper and her mollies is that if you look straight up and you move while shooting it, it'll land exactly at the edge of the sound movement thing where it shows where your sound is where you're walking. So you can use that to create your own lineups like I did for default here on A Pearl, where you plant there, you know, you put your orb there. You, well, I don't know if I was the first one to create it, but I came up with it myself. You come here in the corner, come along this black edge of the thing, straight up, walk until the circle hits the spike, and then you shoot it. You'll see that it'll come and it'll land right on the spike. Obviously, if you pair that with the orb, obviously. So obviously, this is something that can be used to just create a molly on the spot. It won't work on something like B long where it's all open and you can see that when you walk the sound doesn't reach all the way. That's why I have a lineup here. It's not really important for the video, but I have a lineup here just because B long is very long. I can't do like an impromptu lineup, but something like here for A site. So for example, you can just make up a lineup on the spot. Like you come here, ping a little bit to the right of it because that roof thing, for example, on A site Pro really gets in the way. Just come, and then once it hits the ping, you'll do it, and it should land out here. Yeah, like that. Should also work for doing it back here. Just ping a little bit away from default. So that's right here. Look straight up. Shoot that. It should go over it. This blocks it a lot of the time. Yeah, like that. Back there might not be viable, but 100% here is viable. I can't speak English today. KO's molly basically does the same thing as Viper's. So if you ping there, look straight up, 1, 2, throw. It should land right there. Let me try it on the same spot that I showed with Viper before. Now remember, since KO's molly does it, that also means that Killjoy's molly does it.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
I'm discovering, okay, so far 3 mollies do it. Maybe I'm just an idiot and all mollies do that. Where's Brimstone?
Molly.
No, it does not.
Molly.
Okay, well, Brims doesn't do that. Okay, so I guess that is just a Viper, Killjoy, and KO Molly that you can do. Now, like I said earlier, lineups aren't only for Mollies and post-plant. They're really good for gathering information with a KO or a Sova. But those aren't the only agents you can have lineups with. For example, here is a lineup with Raze on Ascent. On the defending side, the wall comes to here. Obviously, you should know that by now. So we see you come here, you line it up, you aim at the corner, the bottom right corner of the thing, and then once the barrier drops, do this, and it'll clear anyone early aggressing main, it'll clear anyone hiding here, and it'll also clear anyone if they're coming B at all, it'll clear them out unless they're hiding here. But this also works right back the other way. You can come here and aim directly at the bottom left of this one, and it'll come and it'll clear all of main. It'll even get this rat corner that a lot of people hide in. You can also just do it from here. Aim at that corner. It'll come and also clear that. Another lineup with Raze is once someone's grabbing the orb, you can just come here and aim there. And I can't ghost with Raze for some reason because this game sucks ass, but it'll land right where the orb is. Now, if you used to play CS, either at one point, whatever, I forgot what it was, or CSGO, then you'll know all about this type of lineup. So this lineup will not help you at all. This is a lineup for your teammates. So if you have like a Chamber or a Jet or a Reyna peeking main, you just come line yourself up with the door, aim there, and it'll land right there. So if, I don't have any friends to show this off, but if they're, you see what I mean, it's they're standing here, they're shooting here, it'll land over here, totally out of your view, and that's an easy peek dash away. Another important thing about lineups is, especially with Molly lineups, having multiple different lineups for each spot. So for example, here's me on Brimstone. B, I only have one Molly, which is this one, but we really don't need that much because when are you really ever planting B? For C and A, I have multiple lineups for the default spot, the open spot. I only really have one for the very long view one on C, but me and my team don't really plant there all that often. But it's also important to have lineups for really obscure places like this one on A, which is really only good if it's like a 1v3 and you're sprinting from C to A and you have to plant really quickly and then get the fuck out. Or little ones like this where I'm sitting in sewer, you know, just a quick little one just to slow them down from planting, give you more time, your teammates more time just to relax and get their bearings. And by the way, if you really want me to show off these lineups and show you how to do them, please leave a comment. I probably will regardless of if you comment. I'll probably make a video showing every single lineup I have in the game and how to do them, which leads me into my penultimate tip / knowledge. Just go into a custom game. It's a lot easier to just look them up on YouTube or whatever just to find them, you know. I think it's tracker.gg or whatever it is, where it has like lineup tutorials. But if you don't want to look them up, you can just make them, you know. Just go into a custom game for like an hour. That's what I've done. I've been in a custom game for like 3 hours. When I did the Brimstone mollies, I literally sat there for I think 2.5 hours. And now for the final piece of knowledge, tip, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is know when is the appropriate time to play for your lineups. Let's say you're attacking A, you know, you come here, you put your wall up, you come in on site. Let's say you kill 2 people on the other team and they kill 1. So now it's a 4v3 in your favor. Okay, you come here and you plant over here. So now it's a 4v3. You have 4 and they have 3. Is it the smart choice to go play for your lineups and leave your team in a 3v3? Or is it the smartest idea to play with your team and make sure you have the number advantage? That's right, play with your team. Oh my god. Now, unless your team is like fully abandoned site and they're coming to play here, then obviously it would be smarter to do that, because then instead of 4 of you watching here, you have like 2 of you here, 1 on site, 1 back there, you know. So unless your team like deliberately tells you like, we got this, go play for, go do your lineups, then stick with your team. If you have the numbers advantage, stick with your team. Now this is off topic from lineups, but if you're up in numbers, like follow this general rule. If you're up in numbers, don't peek. If you're down in numbers, peek. That's the whole thing is, if you're down in numbers, you have to make risky plays to try to win the round. And that's kind of the same rule with lineups. If you're down in numbers, you need that a little bit of help and advantage that lineups can give you. But if you're up in numbers, just stick together and play as a team. Also, just a general rule of thumb, it's really good to know orb lineups with Vipers, just to like sneak places. This is like a bonus thing. It's just good to know, like if you want to like sneak up here and then boom, you know, and then it's a good way to do like an A split, is like what I just showed you. Or you can come back here and do this. My game is bugging out right now. I missed it, but this still like covers it, and it allows you to like sneak up a bit more up mid. I'll show me when I actually hit it, but this is I failed this one, but yeah.
Poison orb emitting.
So yeah, that is pretty much everything that you should know about lineups in Valorant. Obviously, it's not every single thing. I'm not like the forefront of Valorant lineup knowledge, but I think that is almost every important thing that you should know. The most important thing that I said today was the very last thing I said, which is know when is the appropriate time to use your lineups. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.